Have you ever wondered how some people seem to get so much done before the rest of us have even had our first cup of coffee? Well, today we're diving into a concept that claims to have the answer: Robin Sharma's The 5 a.m. Club. It makes a pretty bold promise that the secret to world-class results in a life you love is hidden in the very first hour of your day. So, let's get into it and see what it's all about.
You know, the book's entire philosophy is summed up perfectly right here. Own your morning, elevate your life. The core idea is actually pretty simple, but it's powerful. The way you start your day really does set the tone for everything that comes after. So by taking control of that first hour, you're not just waking up a little earlier. You're creating this ripple effect that can literally elevate every other part of your life.
The book asks this question that really makes you stop and think. How can you ever be world-class if you don't set aside some time each morning to make yourself world-class? It completely reframes the early morning, doesn't it? It's not a sacrifice, it's a crucial investment in your own potential. It's the one time of day you protect just for you to become the best version of yourself before the world starts asking for its piece of you. Okay, so let's unpack that central promise. What does it really mean to own your morning? And what kind of elevation are we actually talking about here? Let's break it down.
Think about it. We live in a world of constant distraction. Emails, notifications, social media. It never stops. The 5 a.m. Club suggests that those pre-dawn hours are like a sanctuary. It's this quiet, peaceful space where you can focus on what's truly important without all the noise and interruptions that are going to take over the rest of your day.
So, if the early morning is our sanctuary, how do we make the most of it? This brings us to the absolute core of the book's framework. It's a concept called the victory hour, and this is the foundation that everything else is built on. The victory hour is that golden hour from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. It's this protected block of time that is dedicated 100% to you for your own growth, your peace of mind, and your preparation. The idea is to win the day before it even really begins. And what exactly are you doing during this hour? Well, you're focusing on what the book calls your 4 interior empires. First up is your mindset. That's all about your psychology and your beliefs. Then you've got your heart set, which is your emotional health. Next is your health set, your physical energy. And finally, your soul set, which is about connecting to your purpose. You work on all 4 to build a truly well-rounded, successful life. All right, now for the really practical stuff. How do you actually structure this victory hour to work on those empires? This is where the simple but brilliant 20-20-20 formula comes into play. So that 60-minute victory hour is broken down into 3 distinct 20-minute pockets. Each one has a very specific purpose, and they're all designed to wake up your mind, your body, and your spirit in a very intentional way. Let's take a closer look at each piece. The first 20 minutes, from 5 to 5:20 a.m., is all about movement. And we're not talking about a gentle stretch here. The book recommends intense exercise that really makes you sweat. The whole point is to immediately flood your body and brain with energy and focus. And there's some real science to this. When you sweat hard first thing, you're clearing out cortisol. That's the stress hormone. At the same time, you're boosting dopamine and serotonin, the feel-good chemicals. So what's the result? You start your day with way more focus, a ton of energy, and a whole lot less stress. Okay, so after that intense burst of energy, you shift gears. The second 20-minute block is all about reflection. You move from high energy to deep peace and quiet. This is your time for stillness before the day's chaos kicks in. In this pocket, you could do some journaling, you could meditate, or you could simply plan out your day with real intention. The goal is to build gratitude and self-awareness. This little bit of quiet time helps you feel more positive and creative, and it helps you be proactive for the rest of the day instead of just reacting to things. And now for the final 20 minutes of your victory hour, from 5:40 to 6 a.m. This part is all about growth. This is where you feed your mind and you actively invest in becoming a better version of yourself. This could be anything from reading a book to listening to an educational podcast or studying a new skill. There's a great line in the book: "The leader who learns the most wins." This pocket makes sure you're always growing, always expanding what you know and who you are. Okay, so this all sounds amazing in theory, right? But let's be real for a second. How do you actually make waking up at 5 a.m. a real, consistent habit, especially when your bed feels so warm and cozy? Let's talk about how to make this happen. The first thing is to change how you think about discipline. It's not something you either have or you don't. Think of it like a muscle. The more you use it, the more you practice doing that hard thing, like getting out of bed, the stronger that discipline muscle gets.
And you absolutely do not have to be perfect from day one. The book really emphasizes that it's all about consistency, not perfection. If all you can do at first is get up at 5:55 instead of 6 o'clock, that is a win. Small, steady steps are what lead to huge results over time.
So here's a number to keep in mind: 66. According to the research in the book, it takes about 66 days of doing something consistently for it to become automatic. That's the point where it actually feels weirder not to do it. Waking up at 5 a.m. can eventually feel just normal.
And to help get you there, here are 2 super simple but really effective tricks. First, get your workout clothes laid out the night before. No excuses. Second, put your alarm clock on the other side of the room. That way you physically have to get out of bed to turn it off, and it's so much harder to just hit snooze. You know, once you start building this habit, it becomes about so much more than just being productive. The book frames it as the beginning of your own heroic adventure. This line from the author's dedication really gets to the heart of the whole message. This daily practice is about you stepping up. It's about you deciding to become the hero of your own life story. It's about answering that call to greatness that we all have inside of us.
And that really is the biggest takeaway. This isn't just some life hack to get more stuff done. It's a method for waking up to your own potential. It's about unlocking your best talents, your deepest creativity, and your most authentic self. It's an act of believing in yourself, and you do it every single morning. So as we wrap this up, I'll just leave you with this question to think about. Your next sunrise is a brand new opportunity, a clean slate. It's a chance to start writing the story of the person you've always wanted to become. So what will you do with it?